You know, if you move, you destroy the image. So you've got to lie in a clattering machine, motionless, and do some cognitive task that you can do looking at computer goggles or looking at a mirror and across your feet out into the room. It limits. So a brain scanning experiment is hugely limited. You can't put somebody on their bike and have them ride off into the distance while scanning their brain. But those things aside, you can, and here we're not talking about experiments with those kinds of limitations. You can, if people have an ability to know who's calling on the phone, if there's even one guy on planet Earth who has this ability, it should be, we could easily design an experiment that would demonstrate that. And the people who claim, I mean, there are people who really claim these abilities. They
claim it on a repeatable basis.
Yeah. There are people who, well, they're the sort of kind of shyster Western New Age psychics who, I'm not sure, but I imagine they just never submit to being tested for obvious reasons. I mean, and then there's the kind of Buddhist, Hindu, yogi, contemplative world where people imagine that great meditators have developed these abilities, and even some of the meditators will, wink, wink, suggest that they probably have these abilities but are just too humble to demonstrate them. And there's sort of a kind of religious taboo against demonstrating them or challenging them or submitting them to tests. But in the contemplative world, among Buddhists and Indian yogis, there's actually a straightforward path to developing these skills. I mean, there's just a recipe. You could go into you could go ask the Dalai Lama, how could I learn to read people's minds? He has an answer to that question. I mean, it's not like, well, it's just a matter of whether you're gifted or not. No, there's actually, this is like you can basically get a PhD in reading people's minds among Buddhists and Hindus. So the people who've done that, why don't they get tested? It's not because what they're claiming is not an ability to make a random number generator jump slightly if they've got 5,000 people sitting next to them also doing it. They claim just huge abilities are possible for meditators who've reached certain levels of concentration. I mean, there are people who the stories are as crazy as anything you've heard.
What about like remote viewing? That's probably the craziest shit of all time, right? Has that ever been disproven? That's clearly disproven?
Well,
never been proven?
It's just vague enough. Well, first of all, there are magicians like what's the British magician? Darren Brown.
I gotta pee again.
Yeah, I forgot to pee.
I'm drinking these gigantic.
I'm so non-psychic.
We got 5 minutes for the thing. Well, I'm
so non-psychic that I forgot I had to pee. That's how in touch I am with my physical reality.
This has been a really fascinating conversation, man. We could go on for hours and hours.
How long was that?
Again. Almost 3 hours.
No, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're down 5 minutes away from 3 hours.
I hope we didn't kill our audience.
No, are you kidding, man? People love this shit. Look, I think your devotion to the scientific method and exploring everything is very admirable. It's very interesting and unique, and we've never had anybody on the show that breaks things down in that way before. It's really been really cool. Follow him on Twitter, samharris.org, and check out all of his books, from Letter to a Christian Nation was the first one that I ever read, to End of Faith, and what is the most recent one?
The Moral Landscape, and Free Will is the most recent one.
And Free Will is the PDF. It's a downloadable, small...
no, that's Lying was a short essay.
That's
a book on the ethics of lying.
Is it samharris.org? Is that the best place to go to for everything?
Yep.
Dude, we got to do this again, man. We didn't even touch jiu-jitsu.
It was a real pleasure.
We didn't talk about martial arts. We got all up in jihad and a little bit of drugs. It was great, man.
Yeah.
Awesome time.
Yeah, likewise.
We could do this over and over again. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Follow him, buy his stuff. Sam Harris is the fucking man, and this show's over. Thanks, everybody. See you soon. See you this week. We got a lot of people coming up. Who the fuck do we got, Brian?
At the Ice House?
Yeah, we got Joey Diaz doing a podcast on Friday. Jason Silva's coming back on Tuesday. Aubrey Marcus is coming back next week.
Yeah,
so we got a lot of people, too. We got a lot of people. All right. We love you, bitches. Thanks for everything. Bye-bye.